Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to draw the Star Tetrahedron in Affinity Designer. The Star Tetrahedron is an important figure in sacred geometry. It represents balance, stability, and the integration of the opposites. Alright, so to get started we go to File, New, and we create a new composition. We give it 2000 by 2000 pixels in dimensions, and we click on Create. And then we make sure that Snapping, Snap to Spread, Snap to Object Bounding Boxes, and Include Bounding Box Midpoints are enabled. And then we're going to start by drawing the outer part of the figure, which is made of two equilateral triangles and an hexagon. So we are going to start by the equilateral triangles. So in order to create equilateral triangles in Affinity Designer, we take the polygon tool and we set the number of sides to 3. And then we set the fill to none. We'll leave the stroke as black, and we set the stroke width to 2. And then, starting from the middle of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift to expand from the center and keep the 1:1 proportions, we go ahead and we create a triangle of around 1500 pixels in dimensions. And then we take the Move tool. We press on Ctrl J to duplicate the triangle, and we flip the duplicated triangle vertically. So this gives us the Star of David shape. And then we're going to create the hexagon, so we press on Escape. We take the polygon tool again. We set the number of sides to 6. And then, starting from the middle of the composition and while holding Ctrl and Shift, we create an hexagon, but we do not expand it all the way. So when it is about this big, we take the Move tool, we go here to enable Transform Origin, and we rotate the hexagon by 90 degrees. And then, while holding Ctrl and Shift again, we expand it until it snaps to the bounding box of the triangles. So now we have created the outer part of the figure. The next step is going to be to draw the lines that connect the opposing points of the triangles. So in order to do that, we take the Pen tool, and then we go ahead and we draw a line from the opposing point of the triangle here to the point of the triangle here. So we have our first line, and we are going to duplicate it twice to connect the two other opposing points of the triangles. So in order to do that, we press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate. We set the number of copies to 2 and the rotation angle to 120 degrees. So this creates the two other connecting lines that we need that connect the two other opposing points of the triangles. And we'll click on OK. And now the next step is going to be to connect each point of the hexagon to its 3 opposing points in the hexagon. So in order to do that, we take the Pen tool again, and we're going to start from this point here. We set a node, and then we connect it to this point here. We press on Escape, and then starting from this point here, we connect it to this point here. We press on Escape again, and then starting from this point here, we connect it to this point here. And then we take the Move tool, and then we select all 3 lines in the Layers panel that we just drawn. We press on Ctrl G to group them together. And we set the rotation center in the middle of the composition. We press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate and we set the numbers of copy to 5, because we need such lines for each of the points of the hexagon. And we set the rotation angle to 60 degrees. And then we click on OK. So now every point of the hexagon is connected to its 3 opposing points in the hexagon. So now we have created all the lines that connect the opposing points of the figure. The next step is going to be to create this kind of grid that the figure has. And thanks to the symmetric nature of the figure, we can create one line once and then duplicate it 5 times, just like we did for the connecting lines of the hexagon. So I'll show you how this works. So we take the Pen tool. Before we connect the line, we press on Ctrl A to select all the elements of the figure. So this makes finding the point easier, because otherwise sometimes the program has difficulties to find the points. And then we are going to connect the intersection here to the intersection here. So this is going to be our first line of the grid that we're going to create. And then we take the move tool. We set the rotation center in the middle of the composition. And just like the lines that connect the opposing point of the hexagon, we're going to duplicate it 5 times. So we press enter to bring out the move duplicate panel. Here we check on previous settings to apply the same duplication settings as for the hexagon. And here we check on duplicate. So as you can see, these lines gets duplicated 5 times. So this is what we need. And this makes the job easier for us. And then we click on OK. We press on Escape to unselect. We press on Ctrl A to select all the elements of the figure again. We take the pen tool. And we are going to draw a line that connects the point here to the point here. We press on Escape twice, and then we press on Ctrl A. And then we connect a line that connects the point here to the point here. And then we take the move tool. We select both lines. We press on Ctrl G to group them together. And we set the rotation center in the middle of the composition. We press on enter to bring out the move duplicate panel. And just like for the previous lines, we check on previous settings and also check on duplicate. And this automatically duplicates these 2 lines 5 times. So this is what we need. And we are going to continue this way. So we press on Ctrl A. We take the pen tool. And then we connect the line that connects this point here to this point here. We take the move tool. We set the rotation center in the middle of the composition. We press on enter to bring out the move duplicate panel. And just like last time, we need previous settings and duplicate. And then we click on OK. And then we press on escape. We press on Ctrl A again. We take the pen tool. And then we connect this point here to this point here. We take the move tool. We position the rotation center in the middle of the composition. We press enter to bring out the move duplicate panel. And we check on duplicate. As you can see, the grid now is starting to take shape. And then we press on escape. We press on Ctrl A again. We take the pen tool. And then we connect this point here to this point here. We take the move tool. We position the rotation center in the middle of the composition. And then we check on duplicate to duplicate it 5 times. And then we press on escape. We take the move tool and press Ctrl A. And then we connect the point here to the point here. We take the move tool, set the rotation center in the middle of the composition, press enter to bring out the move duplicate panel, and check on duplicate. Alright, so now we have created all the lines that we needed to create, so now the figure is complete. And the use of the move duplicate panel made the job for us easier. Alright, so you learned how to create the Star Tetrahedron in Affinity Designer. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time, bye!